So briefly, platform engineering, it's a set of tools and practices for building internal developer platform. A developer platform, it's a platform for implementing automatically all the processes for building and deploying software artifacts. Data engineering, it's a set of practices and tools for data ingestion, transformation, and data valorization. In the context of data platform engineering, it's a platform engineering where instead of managing software assets, a data platform manages data assets. Okay, so data engineering, you are focused on the data. In platform engineering, you are focused on the data containers and all the processes for making the flows of data among data containers as much as automatic as possible. A data team should be made of right mix of data engineer and platform engineers or data platform engineers. They should collaborate on a daily basis. I would say that data engineer provides requirements for the platform engineers, and then the platform engineers receive feedback from the data engineers and from the data users about the quality of the platform they are building. Okay, so in my experience, my favorite setup is to have data engineers that are also platform engineers. I don't like the idea to have this strict separation. A good data engineer should have also the skill set for building the platform. A pragmatic approach and a more conservative approach is starting doing pure data engineering based on a sound architectural paradigm like lakehouse, data lake, lakehouse, or data mesh. As soon as you start to get enough data and enough audience for your data, you start to add the task for platform engineering in order to make the manual task gradually automatic. Okay, so I would say you start 100% doing data engineering tasks. At some point, you have 80% data engineering task and 20% platform engineering task. You reach a phase where you could have 50% and 50%, and then once the platform is in place, the tasks are data engineering tasks for onboarding new data and new users, but leveraging on all the automatic mechanism you have built before. The other approach is I build the data platform, so I do mostly platform engineering tasks. As soon as the platform is enough complete, I start to ingest data into the data platform and doing data engineering tasks. The second approach, typically, the enterprise, they don't like it because it's the time to market for the data becomes too big. Typically, enterprise need the business people in the enterprise. They need the insight. They need data. So you don't have time, to wait like 1 year or 6 months for building a complete data platform. From the data engineering standpoint, it's always the huge problem is how to get data from the external system and ingest them into the data platform, and how to guarantee the freshness and the quality, the data quality, the freshness, because it's a huge integration problem because you have to well understand how the data are produced and how to keep the data coherent. From the platform engineering standpoint, it's the biggest task. It's implementing all the data governance issues because governing the data, governing how the data is protected, how the data flows across the data platform, it's a huge task because you have to deal with hundreds of metadata properties, because in the end, governing your data means associating to the data additional informations for qualifying the data around specific dimensions like sensitivity, quality, cost, other kind of metrics. All these kind of information are metadata that need to be collected, associated with the data, and then used for automation, for making automatic, for example, on the onboarding of new data set, data collections, the onboarding of new people, new users in a coherent way and in a safe way, no? Because we know that we are living in a high regulated market with something like GDPR. So data leak, data breach can be extremely painful, no, cost-wise, because the fines are very, very big. In the end, the platform engineering mostly works around implementing data governance processes. Okay, so this is the really biggest task for platform engineering. So from data engineering, I would say data ingestion, data freshness, keeping the data quality high. For data engineering and for platform engineering, building automatic data governance processes. Yes, so it's not easy to reply to this question because the offer in the market it's huge. No, there are the hyperscaler providing platform tools, engines of any shape and flavor. There are specialized software as a service or platform as a service providers like Databricks, Snowflake. It's plenty of them. So it really depends on your, overall strategy. If you want to stay technological agnostic, I would say that Kubernetes is getting more and more a de facto standard for building cloud-like data platforms. Now it's plenty of engines and tools that can run natively on Kubernetes. Kubernetes is the same across the cloud, the hyperscalers, and the on-premises. So it's definitely using Kubernetes makes much easier to implement a hybrid strategy where you can mix the cloud with on-prem depending on use cases and the cost considerations. Another technological factor could be infrastructure as a code approach movement. Regardless of the platform or cloud or whatever you use, it's possible to use something like, I don't know, Terraform for implementing a good infrastructure as a code strategy. And it's a very nice mechanism for not only the building of your infrastructure, but also making automatic even data governance processes, for example. So you can use this approach also for, in general, for governing all the aspects of your data platform. In my opinion, what I really like is this idea to use Kubernetes for everything, and not meaning that you don't have to use manage the services, but combining Kubernetes with self-hosted platforms and managed platform, you can achieve a good result and taking under control the overall cost for your data platform. Yeah, my advice is okay to invest in getting a platform. At the end, your goal is to have a data platform, okay? And if you don't invest in platform engineering practices, you don't get a data platform. You get just a big container where you have to put the data in somehow, okay? Where the people are crazy in doing a lot of manual processes for keeping the data well organized, for keeping the data accessible by the user, etc. Okay, sooner or later you are going to hit the wall because this container becomes inflexible and very difficult to maintain. So there is no free lunch, I would say. The goal is to provide a platform easy to use by your customers, no? Internal or external customers. So you have to invest in platform engineering. So following a more pragmatic approach, as I said before, is okay. You can start doing mostly data engineering because you need to provide something to your users, provide some data to your user, but as soon as possible, start to implement and to make automatic the data governance processes. No, this is something I would say mandatory. So using this pragmatic approach, as I said, you can dilute the platform engineering task in the stream of data engineering task, and then maybe it takes more time for achieving the ultimate goal, but you can somehow satisfy the immediate needs for of your users for getting insights from the data, being sure that at some point you will have the right data platform with all the governance processes or all the needed automation mechanism for making onboarding of new data on new user as simple as possible. You're welcome. Very nice conversation.